Hey, what's going on everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and in this video we're going to be looking at upgrading the memory in this particular system. Now this is an old Cooler Master case, but it's serving a purpose such as Chia farming, Flux node, VLC server or media server, and I want to do so much more with it because it has the capacity. You can see all the hard drives in there. I also have a SAS card, a enterprise grade NVMe SSD, but I'm bumping into a bit of a roadblock. As I mentioned, we got the Flux node right here running. We also have Chia farming, and you will see that the memory utilization is really high. Obviously with Flux on a virtual machine, we had to allocate X amount of memory to that virtual machine, and so that's really hitting the limit of our 16 gigabytes that we have in the system. So what I did is I grabbed some Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4 memory. This is 232 gigabyte sticks, so this is 64 plus 64. That's gonna be 128, but will give us some extra breathing room so I can run other nodes on this machine, which is what I'm planning on doing virtually, is to run more nodes on this machine. By expanding the memory, I'll have the extra breathing room that I will need because this, like I said, the storage and the internal components are just fine. The 9600K is probably going to be my next bottleneck, but it's serving its purpose for now. We got a Corsair CX 750F RGB power supply, the Hyper 212 Evo sitting on the 9600K, going to replace the G-Skill memory you see in there. And unfortunately with this older case, there's no real cable management, network or channels that I can use, and the hard drives are just basically mounted right to that metal chassis, so it's not very good for vibration. I do plan on upgrading this thing in the future, but we'll cross that bridge later on. Also, we want to move the FPGA into this rig, getting rid of the ATI 7550. This is an old graphics card. It's serving its purpose, but we're going to run off the integrated graphics from the Intel CPU for now, opening up that room for the FPGA to slot in there. Should be decent enough airflow for it to breathe and be fine. But I'm going to shut down this guy. We're going to upgrade the memory, and we're going to see what the change is, right? So you can see that wall we're hitting with memory right now at 16 gigabytes. What happens when we add 128? How insignificant is running a Flux node or a single Cumulus Flux node and one Chia wallet actually going to change or impact this system? Let's see. Don't forget to peel these off. I already peeled it off of this one. That's what it should look like. Leave that plastic on there. That memory gets toasty. As close set as these are to each other, you're gonna have some problems. So with the Chia Farmer and Flux node turned back on, and the added memory 128, we are using 20 gigabytes of 128, which tells me the 16 gigs was definitely being hit pretty hard. Usually when you run out of memory or system memory, you wind up using your C drive or your hard drive, and it starts to allocate to virtual page file or virtual memory, which can significantly impact performance, primarily in more day-to-day and gaming workloads, not so much in this case. So we would have been fine if we would have continued. However, again, there's a lot of expansion I want to do, so it's good to see all that extra memory and one Flux node and one Chia Farmer, and one Google Chrome tab opened up. It's only using about 20 gigabytes of system memory. So nowadays there's a lot of system resources you will need just to multitask in today's world. But unfortunately, we lost some of that RGB goodness switching to these memory sticks, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. There's other RGB elements on this system that will make up for it. I did check the QVL list on that motherboard, which is the Z390 Tachi Ultimate, and unfortunately the system would not boot at 3600 megahertz, which is what this memory is rated for. So I dropped it down to 3000 for now. I'll do some more testing and tuning offline. I don't like leaving my Flux node offline for long periods of time, obviously, because that can impact performance and ranking, all that good stuff. So we got more room. And now the biggest step that I'm going to have to take is I'm going to have to load up another virtual box, a Linux virtual box, because if I want to get this FPGA in here, we need to run it on Linux. It's not going to run on Windows. So again, replacing that GPU that's in there, running off the integrated graphics on the Intel CPU, slide the FPGA in, boot up a Linux VirtualBox and run some pass-through, especially the USB pass-through, which is needed to obviously manage and maintain the FPGA, is going to be something that's going to use up some resources. Probably going to need to allocate another 8 gigabytes of memory, a couple cores, so on and so forth. But I have all the room that I need. The next bottleneck we're going to bump into, unfortunately, is going to be the CPU, since this is the 9600K, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And then also, I would like to expand my storage beyond what we have here. And I do plan on upgrading the case eventually in the future. For now, it will do the job. We got more memory, we got more space or memory resources to expand, create other virtual machines, set up other nodes, set up other Linux environments, especially for our FPGA, and I'm happy with that. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to take you along with this channel update on this particular NAS or device. We're in Chia, Flux, and gonna host some other nodes, and of course the FPGA in the future. And thank you so much for sticking with us. If you are interested in getting 128 gigabytes of DDR4 memory, this Corsair LPX will do the job. I'll have it linked down in the description. Just make sure it is supported on the Motherboard QVL list. And do me a favor on the way out, hit the like button, make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description that will support the channel and what we do here. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.